Yeah.
Hello and welcome back to the Curtain Call podcast. We are your hosts, Katie
and Nadia.
And today is Therapy Thursday. But before we start... Oh, I didn't... Okay, noise. All the Schweppes. Okay. Girl, don't destroy my Schweppes cup.
Oh, see,
it doesn't work. What? Can you see what I said?
Okay.
So today's Therapy Thursday is going to be us answering 3 questions about what we talked about in our last episode, which was auditions.
If you didn't watch it,
go watch it if you haven't watched it.
But after this video.
The first question is audition anxiety. How do you conquer it?
I think we all have it. I don't think I met a person who doesn't have it.
Exactly. I don't think anyone is walking into an audition with 100% confidence that they're going to get a lead role. And that means you're cocky if you have that.
Yeah, I feel like that means
that's cocky.
There's a difference between confidence and cockiness.
Like, I feel like you should be a little nervous if you're confident.
Yeah.
And just like show it off that you're confident.
Yeah,
but like, if
I think you can use like your nerves to your advantage. Mm-hmm. But I don't.
Cocky's a different level.
I think that's too much ego.
Yeah, totally.
Too much ego. Yeah.
Audition anxiety. I have it. 100%.
100%.
I'm the one that will have either anxiety that they prepare their audition materials 2 weeks before or do it like a day before. And that's bad.
We didn't. I guess doesn't count as auditions, but also just performing in classes.
Oh, yeah, totally.
I got so, like, our final performances. Our final performances, I remember I would get so stressed that I would start crying.
Oh, yeah. It's horrible. That happened to me once. I cried.
It was really embarrassing, actually.
I cried with the Oedipus monologue. Well, I didn't go to school.
Freaking Amanda. Freaking playing Amanda.
Oh, God. That girl, Amanda. I was Amanda, too.
Amanda and what was that play called?
Glass Menagerie.
Yeah. She talks a lot if you haven't read Glass Menagerie.
She just blabs on stuff that isn't
real. And it was really stressful to play.
We had one day to memorize like a whole scene, which is our norm, but not like monologues.
Yeah, I think that was just more stressful. I think sometimes you want to do so well that you psych yourself out. At least I do.
Totally. I agree.
I think at least when you're the performer, I think reminding yourself that whatever happens.
Yeah.
You can be amazing, you're just not fit like the show.
You could have like the best singing voice to ever exist. You're just not tall enough to fit the guy character.
Or like if you audition for like a play, for example, and you're really, really good and you get a callback and you do a chemistry read and you're like too young.
Mm-hmm.
Or you're like too old.
Or your voice is too high or your voice is too low. It's like even in acting, like you just can't change it, which is totally fine.
I think the more, even though it's stressful, the more you put yourself out there, the more you get comfortable with the nerves. Totally. And the less. I think the more you audition, the more chill you get with it. Yeah. You understand.
Especially in high school, like when you audition for like a musical in your freshman year, I feel like you don't know anything, especially with our school. Like I wasn't friends with any really upperclassmen that knew like what it was. And wait, what was I talking about? I didn't know any upperclassmen, so it was just like me.
Awkward.
Just like in there, I'm like, okay, I did this totally wrong, but I got in anyway. But
yeah. Also, I feel like you can mess up your slate.
Oh yeah, I didn't slate for Broadway night, and I was like, oh no.
I like always mess up my slate because I'm always like, hello, my name is Nadia, and like my last name, and then I will be performing because you can't say doing. Yeah, I'll be performing, and then I just like out, and I'm like, oh, I'm performing again. Am I performing? What am I saying? From what musical? I don't really know.
Who wrote that?
Who wrote that? I don't.
Yeah, I sang Requiem from Dear Evan Hansen for Broadway night last year. I don't even know what I'm singing this year.
We'll figure it out. It's normal.
It's
to
on
be
Tuesday.
Stressed and to procrastinate a bit.
Yeah, I think that's totally. I feel like people like put it into perspective of like they're not like everyone else, and everyone else kind of like shields their own anxiety from everyone else. I feel like no one like really opens up about audition anxiety, which is 100% normal. Like if you go into an audition,
if you go into an audition being like, I know, like I'm fine. Like no,
you're not. You're not.
Think that's just weird.
It is weird, and it's just like not normal.
Yeah,
it's normal to have anxiety about
to have nerves and things. I just think you can't have like so much anxiety that it stops you from doing it, and I think you have to use that to your advantage. Mm-hmm. Like, I think anxiety is like part of my personality at this point.
Me too. I talk about it every day.
I talk about it, and you know, she's controlling me sometimes. We're not even gonna lie. Like that Inside Out. Anxiety, she's still here.
Like
she's been here for a while, but that's okay. I think also parents sometimes don't help.
Oh yeah, they usually just think it's normal, and then like, which it is, but it could be helped.
Sometimes I think parents' responses can be like different.
Yeah,
than what they are. I think
especially if you don't have theater parents.
Yeah, if you don't have theater parents, I think it's higher. I think parents have to acknowledge that your child's nervous.
Yeah, I feel like some people are like, "Oh, she's nervous. That's fine,"
like
and does nothing. But
sit with your kid and be like, "You got this. Hype them up. Yeah. You gotta hype them up."
But also, like, I feel like some hype can get to like into their head and be like, "Oh, I'm getting this role now."
Yeah, I feel like the way to hype is like, "You got this. You're gonna go and you're gonna blow their socks off, and whatever happens, and to trust yourself."
Totally. Trust yourself.
That's the most.
I think that's the number one rule. Trust yourself and yourself only. If you trust other people to pick songs for you or pick monologues for you, don't do that. Do your own research. Like, if they pick a song for you, great. Just research it first. Don't be like, I'm doing that. Like, I got a song from our friend Eric for 42nd Street. Love you so much. And I researched it first. And, like, obviously it was a great song and I loved it when I listened to it, but I still had options open.
Exactly. And I think that's important. Especially, like, when auditions, you're probably going to change your song.
Oh, yeah.
I changed my song.
I just changed my song 5 seconds before the period ended in musical theater elective the other day.
I think that's natural. Or just taking a longer time to choose your material, I think, is important. I think you should care about what you're choosing.
Even if you, like, don't even have a voice teacher or an acting teacher or, like, do any training,
put the working by yourself.
Exactly. And go on TikTok. Be like, audition songs for Sopranos.
And follow that woman.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
That woman, follow her, or like
the girl like Jody.
Yeah. Or the 10-minute warm-ups.
Mm-hmm.
Those
help.
Or look on YouTube. There's so many like how to bow and how to mix and how to
totally.
Your headphones.
I don't even like. I feel like so many people are just so like teenagers, especially. I feel like are just like, oh yeah, I'm a perfect singer, and I know how to do this, and no, it's not.
I think
I grew up a belter. I grew up a chess boy. Yeah, I also just grew up without training. I didn't get a voice teacher until like last year. I think that's normal.
It's okay to start late and still train. I think that's the most important thing. You can find ways of training by yourself.
Like I still played sports and like had a life outside of theater, which you can do. I just choose not to. I just choose shuffle. But I literally still played field hockey until January of last year. We love field hockey and we love sports, but it just wasn't for me.
Yeah. Go sports.
Go sports.
Woo!
Even though my parents are sports people. So
go sports. I think that's the thing. I think parents, you just have to talk to your kid and be like, it's normal to have anxiety. Even if I feel like even veterans, like, people still have it. I think it's normal. I think the importance of
I feel like the first thing you really should do is recognize it.
Yes.
And be like, these are my triggers. These are like what gets me nervous. What gets you nervous is singing. What gets you nervous is acting.
Maybe
what gets you nervous is a surprise of a dance call.
Yeah, a dance call or a callback.
Yeah, exactly. Like you can't go into their minds and tell you to put you in the show. The only thing that you can do is show off your artistic ability.
And also, we didn't talk about this last episode, but it came up. Once you step out of the car,
oh girl, you are being watched.
You are being watched. Like the people who you say hello to when you're signing in, and the people who call you in, they're hearing everything. Don't talk smack. Don't be like that person. Like, ew, that girl's terrible. The director will find out.
Totally.
I think
there's cameras. Sometimes they take the extra line and takes the extra mile and joke with like
audition is like sort of like a college interview.
Oh yeah.
In the sense of there's a type of professionalism.
Yeah. Professionalism there you go.
Right? And it's normal to be nervous, just be kind. I think a lot of people forget, like when you're so nervous you can only just think about yourself. And you have to think about the fact that there's other people in the production and there's other people like filming.
I feel like everyone always forgets about like the directors in the scene too. Like it's not just you that's doing the show; it's them, and they're probably doing it more than you. You're just following. Like, not that it's just, but it's a lot of work. But you're just following choreography and learning the songs. But they're creating the show. They're creating what you're doing and following. Like they're the leaders, not you.
Exactly, and they're seeing so many people. Like at least in our school, it was 2 days of singing auditions and a good couple hours of the dance call. So you have to sort of be like, it's not only me.
It's everyone in the room.
Everyone else. And it's okay to like talk to people too when you're like waiting for your singing. I feel like if you practice,
get to know people around you. That might be your new castmate. Like, get to know people.
You're more likely to mess up in the room if you practice it too much.
Oh yeah, that happened to me. Ooh.
If you practice it too much, you're more likely to mess up. Okay. So how do you recognize it? I think we experienced anxiety, finally.
Yeah, totally.
For the show. So you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. So obviously I was nervous, like more than probably a lot of other people because I was a freshman, which makes sense. But like, it was first of all getting into the show and then what part I was going to get. I really didn't care. I was just like, I just want to be in the show. I want to perform it.
But I feel like that's a better outlook to look at it. Like, whatever happens.
Happens,
and I'm getting into the show. That's the most important part of it.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, how about you?
I think mine is I think I get more, like, anxious in my head about not even the performance, because I blank out. I think more of, like, oh my gosh, there's all these people I don't know, and I think more of my anxiety is more, like, social when I'm going.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like, I don't know what to say. Like, hello, nice to meet you. I think that's the also thing. My personality is very much anxious. And that before you slay and sing, it's more your personality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think I probably have the opposite opinion. Not opinion, like the opposite, like anxiety and stuff. I get more nervous about like how I'm going to sing this. Like, I can't sing this. I'm using something like...
Right. I think mine's more social and you're more like...
Yeah. More like performance-wise.
Yeah, like perfection and striving for that.
Exactly. Yeah. So I feel like how you really recognize it is just you in general. Like, you have to know yourself before you recognize your feelings, if that makes any sense.
I think it does.
You really, like, see yourself in everyday life. Like, take the tape back a little bit. And, like, see how you have conversations with people and how that affects you. Like, if you're an overthinker like me and like you might have similar, like, anxiety triggers.
Thoughts that aren't usually... I think, at least for me, I don't want to speak unlike you, but I think about the worst possible situation first.
Oh, totally.
Before anything else. I think that's also journaling. I feel like journaling helps, or like just counting to 5.
Yeah.
Really counting to 5, or thinking about something you really like. Like, I like ice cream a lot. So thinking that, like, I feel like I've done this, like, after audition, I go and eat ice cream. Because it just makes you feel better. And I think to reduce your stress, you sort of have to have, like, a routine in and a routine out.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. I feel like having like a little treat works. Treats for everyone. A little sweet treat won't hurt anybody.
Sweet treat, or if you want to like go and like watch a movie.
Also talking about treats, your diet when you want to audition, like dairy.
Oh yeah.
That is so important.
What are you talking about? Diet. Basically, when you're singing, try not to have dairy beforehand.
Yeah. Because, like, eggs, milk. I stay away from caffeinated drinks, anything like that, because of, I think it's how, like, dense dairy is. Yeah, and it gets, like, that film in your throat. If you ever feel that, like, phlegmy stuff.
Because of dairy.
Yeah, it could be also because you're sick, but
if you're not sick.
If you're not sick, then
it's dairy. So avoiding dairy.
I also really try to avoid eggs. I had eggs before voice lesson once. I didn't know any of this. I thought it was just dairy and milk. And I didn't realize that like eggs were dairy.
Yeah, because they come.
They come from chickens, girl. I don't think they're dairy.
But
I think they still get that little phlegmy in their throat.
I think it's just how maybe. Yeah.
Part of the dairy.
Yeah, actually. Dairy family.
I didn't know that.
I don't think everything in the dairy family is like cows.
True, but
really,
yeah, like butter.
Butter's butter is. I feel like butter isn't butter made out of cows.
Yes.
So
no, that's what I meant. Like butter is a dairy product.
Yeah,
dairy product. Yeah.
So yeah, don't have like garlic bread.
Yeah. Don't have bread.
Don't have bread.
Just like fruit. I like just having fruit.
Rice is really good. Beans, anything that fuel your body.
Especially I like to have sausage, like links.
Oh yes, poke bowls. Those are really good. Browsing.
I feel like mayo would also get a little phlegm in your throat too.
So just ask for no spicy mayo.
Yeah. or just kind of just like eat the fish.
Oh yeah, eat fish. But that's interesting audition. On your dance, eat as much as you can.
Yeah,
As much protein as you can because you're gonna be sweating.
you're gonna be tired.
If you're not sweating, you're gonna be tired.
Okay. Then we move on to the next question.
Do we have another question?
The parents, how to like associate it with your parents, and like how do parents like really deal with it and like give to your kid,
Oh yeah,
you know?
parents drive them around and use your money.
Okay, that's one point to look at it.
I think.
But I feel like if your kid's anxiety is so bad, like I feel like it would be noticeable out in the house.
I feel like it's outwardly. I know for me, I drink a bunch of water beforehand. I drink loads of water beforehand.
Yeah.
And I need to pee really badly.
That's real. Nervous
pee.
My nervous habit, looking everywhere, playing with my hands, like that isn't, and swaying when I sing.
Oh yeah,
swaying.
Or like swinging forward.
Oh yeah.
And like leaning forward.
And then like just looking around, not in the direction that I want to.
Oh, you don't look at the people.
Look like this.
Yeah, like if these are the people, don't look at them.
Don't look down.
You have to like look at a specific spot in the wall. If there's like a painting in the wall or like a weird mark, look at
Just
that.
look at that. Same thing with kind of like balancing. That's like kind of
but don't stare. Don't be like,
don't be like
don't stare.
because sometimes I would be like,
yeah, you can't.
I remember for my public speech monologue,
no.
I stood like a soldier, and he was like, "Don't be like Katie and stand like a soldier."
Katie.
And I was like, "No!" I was like this, and I was talking about Taylor Swift. Oh, sorry. Whoops.
Okay, back to what we were talking about. Yeah.
Anyway, I feel like parents could be more involved.
Yeah, be more involved, or just be involved with more other parents. Like if and I guess this is harder when you get older and you start growing up and stuff, and things. But if we're friends, and I feel like our parents know each other really well.
Totally. I was on a cruise with you.
Well, yeah, that's what helped. Not everyone gets to do that, Katie.
Yeah, true.
So
go on vacations with your friends.
That's on my wallet.
You keep talking. The part like that's okay. But yeah, I think just parents. You don't have to go into the audition, like into like the section. But I think once you're like, if your child is like talking about these people, like get to try to know them. Maybe, depending on where your child's like performing, you can like choose to sit next to them. You can choose to be like next to them.
Yeah, I think you could also really like get on their level, like do some research on singing, like get them like,
or the show we're doing.
Yeah, totally. Like, oh my gosh, who plays this role? And they'll be like, oh, okay, blah blah blah. Like,
no Jeremy Jordan.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I feel like that also helps in the theater world to kind of just know their lingo, and you know that could also just help with their anxiety. Like some kids might be like, not including myself, but like it could be like, oh my gosh, my parents don't know this, my parents don't know that about theater. Like I just have no one to talk to at home, and that could be the total just trigger of their audition anxiety or just anxiety in general.
I mean, yeah, the unknown.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's the most thing. I think when people have audition anxiety, it's the unknown of what's going to happen.
Totally.
Also, I just want to say that we filmed these, so that's why we're wearing the same colored shirts. I know no one's going to notice other than me that we're wearing the same colored shirts, but we're wearing the same colored shirts. And if like you guys have questions, leave them in the comments below.
And we'll answer.
I won't answer maybe just a bit late.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you so much for watching or listening. Again, we are Katie
and Nadia,
and this was our Happy Curtain Call podcast
on Thursdays, on Therapy Thursdays.
Yeah.